So last night I was really struggling to fall asleep, and as I lay there in my bed, staring off into the darkness, my mind was all over the place. But one area that it returned back to was the idea of starting some type of service that solves a real problem for people that I can then turn into a business opportunity for myself. Um, and as I thought about it, I was like, okay, well, what service, what kind of product could I create? And as I thought about that, I remembered that I was on a webinar 2 weeks ago with Bigger Pockets, hosted by David Green. On that Bigger Pockets webinar, I remember walking away with a sense of refreshed interest in real estate investing, even though I have had a couple of rental properties myself. I remember just kind of getting that like excitement again of like, yeah, let's go buy a property. But of course, I'm low on funds right now, so I can't really invest. On that same webinar, I remember that David Green did a fantastic job promoting the Bigger Pockets Pro membership. And that Bigger Pockets membership, from what I can recall, is about advanced content that's not available to the public, in addition to Bigger Pockets real estate calculators. And those calculators I thought was an absolute value-packed item to offer to people. I would sign up for that $39 a month service. However, even if I wasn't on a budget, $39 a month for essentially a set of calculators and maybe some videos that are equally available on YouTube or elsewhere for free, I think $39 a month is a steep price to pay for that membership. I am not knocking Bigger Pockets at all. They have educated me for years, and I wouldn't be where I am without them. So Bigger Pockets, you guys are fantastic. Much respect for what you guys have done to help me. Still laying in my bed, I'm thinking, man, being an entrepreneur myself, I have this passion right now to just create the app, although I know it's going to take me some time to create. And then also being a web developer that has experience using front-end applications and back-end applications. So I thought to myself, I could totally create this, add more value within these applications, and then turn around and offer it to the public for both a free version and as well as a low-cost monthly service. That's what I'm going to do. Starting right now, I'm going to get cracking on writing Pocket Investor. So to get started with this, I'll show you what Bigger Pockets has and what we intend to improve upon, and as well as show you the technology stack that we're going to use and the database structure that we're going to use to be able to build my eventual solution. On Bigger Pockets, they have a variety of calculators. They have the rental calculator, the BRRRR calculator, mortgage calculator, flip calculator, wholesaling calculator, rehab calculator. So Rome wasn't built in a day, so I intend to build their rental property calculator, their rehab estimator calculator, and that looks like the following. So you start a new report, you enter some address. It's kind of nice. It has a selection drop down there. It fills out for you. I don't know, let's just go with that. Then you have the price. That's super cheap. So that was that. Some different things you can add there. That's nice. Maybe let's say 320. $2,400, and now custom next expenses $1,000, $900. Yeah, it's about that much. Vacancy, capital expenditures, I think it's 8.5. Electricity, so that's that. And then they have another calculator, which is going to be the rehab one. So it just kind of goes from here, here. So now that's what the two calculators look like. So now let's take a look at what the technology stack will be using to build this. So I'll be using this database structure to store everything. So there's going to be a options table, and the options table is really going to be storing things like the site information, like the site name, site description, some different keywords about the site setting overall. And then there's going to be a bunch of users that will be glad to sign up for our website. Yes! So we'll store their information here. And then there's going to be a data table that's going to store the core data for the website, which is going to be based off of whatever the user's entering. So it could be a property's address, the purchase price, a bunch of different items. And then each data will have an associated metadata about it that's going to allow us to kind of more loosely kind of ad hoc add data as time passes on. There's going to be a data table for tags, and tags are going to be a way for us to store keywords in essence, and to be able to look up different pieces of data using the keywords rather than searching in the data and its respective value and searching and parsing strings. We'll just be searching to say, is there an association between this keyword and this data, and then find the matches in between. And there's going to be a set of actions that dictate, is a certain user able to do a certain thing. We don't want a general customer or user to just be able to delete the website or a bunch of other people's data. Instead, we'll be having different types of capabilities that kind of spins off from WordPress of sorts. But this kind of allows us to say, hey, if you are of this role type, then you can do this certain types of behaviors and functions. And that's where we store that. And these ones in yellow, in essence, is a way to kind of have a connection and show relationship between how, let's say for example, the user is associated with a particular role, or if it's a user and their associated metadata, or if it's a role and the level of access any particular role has with respect to any data. Essentially, we have a situation where we don't want one user to be able to access another user's set of reports and things like that. And this is going to be allowing us to make those distinctions very hard and solid. And finally, we'll be using the latest version of Node.js Express, Nuxt 3.0 with Vue 3.0. and MySQL to be able to set all this up. When Pocket Investor is ready to launch, there will be two versions, a free version that has a lot of value in it, and then a pro version that has a bit more value in it. And the pro version is very cost effective to ensure that real estate investors have the confidence they need to be able to make an offer on a deal, save a lot of time, and streamline their investment process. Alright, so we're going to cd into our app development folder and then create the app investor directory. And then we're going to go to good old Google to figure out how to install Nuxt version 3. And then I'll just type this in. And so I'll click on the top one. And then I'll go ahead and copy the npx Nuxi init. Paste that over here, and then of course create our Pocket Investor, and then I'll follow the on-screen instructions and cd into Pocket Investor directory. This may take a second to install, so I'm just going to go ahead and pause for a second. Finally, when it's ready, I'll just kind of review everything. Next, I'm going to follow the instructions and npm install. And then finally, I'll open up the folder for our project. At this point, we'll go ahead and start up our server. It's going to be running on server 3000. I'll just go ahead and control click to open it, and then we'll see our Nuxt 3.0 project running. Let's go ahead and make some changes to it so it's in line with our project name at least, and then we'll go ahead and stop here for this video. So going back to our project, I'm just going to modify app.view to include Nuxt page. And then I need to now create a folder on the root directory so that we can create pages. And then within pages, I'll create a index.view, which will serve as the home page. This will ensure that once Nuxt page component is being rendered, it'll render our default root website. So here I'm just gonna go ahead and maybe remove some of this because it's not needed. This is from a boilerplate from a different project I was working on, so I'll just kind of erase all this. That should give an error, but for some reason it's not. In either case, I'll just erase it all. Alright, so hello Pocket Investors. And then erase that paragraph. And yeah. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I'm very excited I'm starting a startup. At minimum, I'll have a new business income if it's successful. And at worst, I'll have YouTube content to create a series on that you and I get to learn from going forward. I'm very interested in your thoughts. What are some recommendations you may have as to building a Nuxt application? And would you be a potential customer to subscribe to using it in order to invest in real estate in the future? Please let me know your thoughts below. I hope you join me in this series and check back regularly. My name is SolidusCode. Check out my other videos.